Hello there, my beautiful Libra signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is a tarot reading that I pull a traditional Celtic cross spread. Sometimes clarifiers do come out as I'm meditating to your energy, Libra, and that is definitely what happened today. Now, the song that I was guided to meditate to on your energy was Dirty Diana, which is basically a card of a third-party situation. And that's very cohesive with the message that I got through your tarot. So if some of you have been going through a breakup due to cheating or betrayal or just lies and deceit, maybe just like somebody sneaking around, messaging other people, then this is a reading, probably most likely with something in here for you. Now, when I was typing in Dirty Diana, for whatever reason, I was just like typing really fast and Sorry. And then I had typed the word 40 without even realizing it. So 40 might be an age, might be just a significant number for someone. Or maybe like you're drinking 40. I'm not really sure. But I do feel like there is something there for you. So I'm just going to leave that there, Libra. If this message happens to resonate, make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and dive into the tarot, and then I'm going to go further into your energy with the oracle cards. Just remember, energy is fluid. We all have feminine and masculine energy inside of us. It's the yin and the yang of us. And if this message doesn't resonate for you, it might resonate for someone else. Something about a cat might be significant, or a cat's meow. The cat's meow, like that saying. I don't know why he meowed for whatever reason. He's just sleeping on the couch over there. So yeah, anyway, let's dive right in here, Libra. The first card I have for you is King of Swords. This is a sharp energy. This is like this can feel very cold and I don't want to say shallow, but very restricted energy. King of Swords is a very discerning king, but he's also like He's cold. He really is. But it's like you're still capable of kindness, but I don't feel like you're showing it at this time because of the situation that you're going through. Now, the challenge right here and what's crossing you is the Knight of Swords. So there might be an offer coming in that's pretty fast moving. This could be a love opportunity. It could be a friendship. It could be something different as well, because when you have swords, that means air, and swords and air mean mind energy. So it could be just an idea that's coming in. But an idea in the ways of some sort of shift when it comes to your mindset. Like maybe you're seeing things really differently. Maybe you're having to embody this King of Swords energy of being very discerning and very openly direct with people when it comes to the way that you have almost like laid yourself out there before. So if you've been a doormat before, I feel like that's really shifting because there is some sort of conflict at the base of all of these things. So Five of Wands is a card of conflict and fighting and chaos, and based on your past here, I believe that's due to the fact that you were in some sort of coupling, some sort of relationship that came crumbling down. Like there's no good way to put any of this, and it's not an easy time period to go through it all, because I do feel like for a lot of you it has to do with some sort of betrayal or deceit. Sorry, and the cat wanted to go outside, so that's a message though, even though it seems kind of like a weird thing. These are little synchronicities, so maybe it was time to leave and to walk away, because you have the Eight of Cups in your present, and Eight of Cups is a message of walking away from things that don't serve you or fulfill you emotionally. And that is unfortunately the decision that a lot of us have to make when we're in certain relationships that aren't ever reciprocating our energy. But on a subconscious level, I do feel like you might be falling into addictive behavioral patterns or old habits, maybe like defense mechanism style things, where you like sometimes when people are hurt or wounded, they might run away and just want to keep to themselves, or I might be on the opposite end of the spectrum where you go out and you want to like distract yourself from all the pain. So take that message as it resonates. But I do think that there is a lot of clarity that's going to come eventually if you haven't really gotten a lot of clarity or closure now. And closure doesn't come gift wrapped in a pretty little box. It comes when we almost when we least expect it. And I do feel like in the near future, you're going to be a little bit remorseful and regretful, because there are things that I think that are going to come to light about your choices and how you ended up in a situation like this, maybe again, because I feel like a lot of the times we are drawn and attracted to people who have treated us similarly to past partners or past friendships, and that's stemming from a place of mother wounds and father wounds and childhood traumas and those things, because we're generally attracted on a psychological level to people who treat us like our caregivers. So if you've had a history of caregivers who have maybe been negligent for your feelings and your emotions, or they've gaslit you and manipulated you, then chances are you've probably most likely attracted those sort of friends and lovers and things like that, because you meet people on the same psychological emotional trauma level as is what you're on, until you can heal those things. And then that's when you transcend. That's when you ascend, not only energetically, but emotionally and spiritually, because once you've done the healing and you can understand and forgive, you can basically move on and level up to the next step, which is what I see happening for you, because underneath the Devil card was the Fool card, and the Fool card symbolizes a new beginning, a new chapter, and that's when you know you've completed a cycle, because the major arcana in the tarot goes from 0 to 21, I believe. So the world is at the end of the major arcana, and then goes right back to the Fool. So this is like a start over energy. Kind of a happy-go-lucky feeling, even though it may not feel so happy, because you're still healing and processing. And healing isn't, a linear straight line. It's a spiral. So at times you're going to feel like you've completely healed, and then inevitably something's going to trigger you or bring back up some trauma that you've not completely dissolved or alchemized yet. Now, I was guided to look at the lunar cycles, and I'm seeing 111 on the clock right now, but we still have a full moon in Gemini on December 15th. So you will be harvesting some seeds that you've possibly planted in Gemini time frame, which was, around May-ish. So go back if you have a notebook and see what you were doing around May, and then some things might be coming to fruition. Now, there's also a new moon in Capricorn on December 30th. So make sure you check where Capricorn falls in your chart, but that's new moons are all about planting seeds, and full moons are about usually harvesting or reaping the rewards from the seeds that we have planted. Now, it doesn't always have to be like tangible seeds. Sometimes these are just mindset shifts and energetic shifts that we can't even quantify. But I do feel like there is progression here, and what's in your control in your life right now, like what Spirit's advice to you is Judgment and Two of Swords. So the Judgment card is like connecting with Spirit and your guides and that sort of energy, but the Two of Swords is more of making a choice. Maybe you felt like your back was against a wall, but you went with like the lesser of two evils in a sense, and as long as you had good and positive and pure intention, then karmically you're covered. So like, don't worry about too much about what everybody else thinks or what everybody else's opinion is, but as people see you, they see you as a Seven of Wands energy, which is standing up for yourself. It's standing up for your morals, your belief systems, your values, your ethics, all of those things. And we are all entitled to change our opinions and to shift our mindsets, because that's just part of growth. So people do see you as standing up for yourself, which I think is a very positive thing. Sometimes that's not always perceived as a positive thing, especially if people are used to you at a certain level, or seeing you seeing you in a certain way. Their perception of you might be shifting. And the hopes and fears section I have for you is number 9, the Hermit card. This is more of that introspection and that shadow work. It's like we're never truly done healing. We're never truly done growing. That's just like life. Like, from birth we grow, and until death we grow. So the Hermit card is just about more introspection, more self-reflection. Maybe you're hopeful for that, maybe you're afraid of that, or maybe it's a little bit of both. Like you want to grow, you want to progress, you want to move forward, but it's pretty gosh darn painful to do all of those things at the same time. So sometimes when we go through these trauma healing episodes, it's like an emotional roller coaster, and it's like, okay, I feel like I've had enough. I thought that was the peak, and then there's another peak, and then you're like, well, when does it ever end? And it truly doesn't. It's just a matter of how can you process, and how can you train your mind to absorb and really be able to self-reflect without spiraling, pretty much. Now, in the potential outcome, you have the Wounded Warrior, Knight of Wands. This is a very Sagittarius energy. To me, this just means like you fully understand you've been through the ringer. You fully understand the life lessons. Maybe you're still processing exactly why they had to happen, or you're getting a better understanding as to why. But just know that people treat you, Libra, as they feel about themselves. So if someone tries to bully you or pick on you, it's probably because they're feeling very insecure, because most people who are happy and fulfilled don't go around trying to degrade or wound other people, because like, why would they have so much other stuff to do? So if you can't understand that mindset, that's really just a good thing, and that's just reassurance that you are not a sadistic person mostly, and you don't want to perpetuate pain, and that is literally very empathic of you. So that's what I have for the tarot, Libra. If that was interesting, please smash the like button. If you're interested in a personal tarot session or a personalized coaching session where I help you tap into your intuition, then feel free to book that. You can click the link in the description box below, but I'm going to dive into the oracle cards now. You have a little bit of contradictory energy in your oracle cards, but I do feel like it'll make sense in the long term. First card I have for you is my Moon Oracle deck. It says, I am pure magic. So maybe you're really tapping into your charismatic traits or qualities. You also have the Whale. I like to see this. Sorry, it's very glary. I like to see this in my readings because it's whales are just majestic, beautiful creatures, but they are very resilient and very just strong-willed. So this one says, just as the whale can dive deep into the depths of the sea and endure immense pressure, you are also able to endure both emotional and physical pressures. And I do feel like you are doing that because you're learning how to transmute the pain from the past. And you're doing that because you're having that hermit energy, which can be a form of isolation. And then you have the instinct card here as well. So isolation is just a time where we can go within and have unbiased self-reflection. And then instinct is obviously that natural intuition that you're tapping into. That's tied to your crown chakra that's symbolized by the gray on the outside of this card. And then the blue is tied to your throat chakra, which is all about authenticity and speaking your truth and that sort of thing. So I do feel like you're really tapping into those chakras and trying to heal some things there. Now, Aries might be a significant sign that you're dealing with, or you have a lot of Aries in your chart. It says a fiery climax approaches. So if there was some sort of deceit or betrayal when it came to love for you, or somebody was not being forthcoming, I do feel like because the Judgment card is here and the Two of Swords is here, it's like eventually those things will come to light. We can't really control the timeline of certain things. Sometimes karma happens in this lifetime. Sometimes karma doesn't happen in this lifetime. And sometimes, we don't always get to see it. When we do get to see it, it's really just like the icing on the cake. Like, I don't ever wish anyone ill will, but I just try to send that energy back to like return to sender. So even if you're like not happy for someone's downfall, you can really just take the people who have had impure intentions towards you and just ask guides or God or angel spirit or whatever you want to ask, or ask no one if you're not interested. I just ask for them to return any negative energy back to the sender and let the universe handle that. So that's not really, it's not up to me to be the deliverer of karma, but sometimes I do get to witness it, and it is, maybe it's a little petty, but it is kind of entertaining to watch when you do get to see how things play out for someone who had maybe stuck a lot of knives in your back or been not very forthcoming. So something about the past is significant though, and I feel like it's just healing from that. It says, through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. So that's a positive thing. And then you have the destroyer. The destroyer card from the archetype stack is, to me, like the it's the tower card. It's also like an ego death. It's also like heartbreak. It's also the crack is what lets the light in. That's a Rumi quote. And I do feel like because you've gone through something devastating, it's really shifted you. Now you have deep knowing, number 43, and then you have not knowing, number 4. This is that contradictory energy I was talking about. So it's like sometimes I feel like you really know deep down, and then other times you're like, I don't know. Like, I thought I knew, but then I didn't know. And that's when we have expectations of how the future should look, or, we have this vision in our head of like how things would go, how karma would come back around, and how we'd get to watch it, and all these good things that maybe make us feel validated or justified or feel a little better. And then like sometimes this not knowing hits and you're like, what the heck? Like, I thought this was going to happen and it never did. I thought that was my intuition. I thought that was, what the guides were telling me, and it actually wasn't. So sometimes, that gets the best of us, and our imagination typically like go a little crazy when we're trying to problem solve or pacify ourselves and make ourselves feel better. But this card, number 4, says, to be ignorant is a creative, harmonious way to engage with your world. Don't go running after answers as if it's embarrassing to not know. Holding steadily to not knowing and hence to learning will bring good results. So what don't you know? And what if you didn't need to know all the answers right now? And how can you learn from this experience? This card's just irritating to me because I'm like type A personality, so I want to know. And a lot of the times on your spiritual path, it'll be about surrendering and trusting that you're on the right path and you're being guided. And that's really hard to do. It's a skill. And it's a skill that I am still working on for the last many, many, many years. So I don't have any guidance for that. But the last card I have for you, I think this is the last card, Libra. Yeah, it's the last card, is from my Third Eye Intuition deck. It says, act. Get your priorities straight, what really counts in your life right now, and take time to consider how you can use your intuition to guide you towards what's really important. Sometimes this can stem from a pros and cons list of whatever choice you have to make. Sometimes even just making a bucket list can be a simple way to implement some goals that you have in mind without necessarily attaching a timeline to them, but just like, before you die, I would like to do this, this, and this. Sometimes that can be helpful just to ignite a spark or distract from other things that you may not want to go back into, like the past. So that might be helpful for some of you out there, but that's what I have for you, Libra. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please again smash the like button. It helps my channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. And what else? Personalized tarot reading. Reach out on my website or a life coaching session. I can help you tap into your intuition. But I will see you next time.